King Toad. In the east of the Far Mountains lived a very stupid king whose heart was set upon nothing but war and conquest. There may have been many reasons for his actions, but they were only justifiable in his own mind. His constant warfare depleted his manpower, his wealth and his power, but he still did not stop. Eventually he was defeated by a king whose power was only matched by his meekness and his mildness. By the time of the stupid king's final defeat and death in battle, virtually all the men in his kingdom had been slain. The victorious king drew no pleasure from this situation, and it was with a sad heart that he went to visit the newly widowed queen. "My lady," the king said, "who shall rule the kingdom now that your husband the king is dead?" "I do not know," the queen said. "No man is left who is fit to take over the job." The king thought for a moment as to what to do for the best. "Officially, your lands belong to me, but I have no desire to take possession of your land, which is being presented to me in this terrible way. I will therefore give you back your land with this gift." The king presented the queen with a wooden box. Inside the box were a toad and a ring. "My lady, I present your new ruler, King Toad. I hope that his rule gives you great satisfaction, and may his reign bring prosperity to your land." The king left and returned back to his own homeland. The queen was left with King Toad and a desolate kingdom. Under the rule of King Toad, the land began to slowly return to prosperity. The kingdom began to prosper as each season saw a new beautiful harvest that grew in the peaceful, undisturbed soil of the land. At first the harvest was only gathered in by the women of the kingdom, as there were no men, and their sons were too young to assist. As every hand was needed to gather in such a great harvest, the queen would remove her crown and her robes of state. She would put on the clothes of a worker and go down among the people and help them. All this time King Toad carried on his rule over the prosperous kingdom. Eventually, as time passed, the young children of the kingdom grew up to be young men and women. The young men of the kingdom noticed how beautiful the young women of the kingdom were. The young women of the kingdom noticed how handsome the young men of the kingdom were. In time there were lots of weddings in the kingdom, and in time there were many children born. All this time King Toad carried on his rule over the prosperous kingdom. All of this time, of course, the queen carried on beside King Toad. She seemed to many to be the most beautiful and serene queen there had ever been. Many felt that her inner serenity seemed to radiate from the joy of seeing her peaceful kingdom prosper. Many seasons came and went, and many harvests were gathered. The queen still came down amongst her people at these times, but eventually they persuaded her to stop physically helping them, for surely now she must be getting older and must have many aches and pains in her joints and muscles. The people just assumed this, because nothing but peace and beauty seemed to emanate from the queen. All this time King Toad carried on his rule over the prosperous kingdom. Eventually, in time, silver streaks began to appear in the queen's hair, but she still maintained her goddess-like beauty. She still attended all her royal functions with her husband King Toad. She still ruled in peace and prosperity by his side. And she still used the magic ring she had been given to convert her Toad into a man some nights when she needed him. All the time King Toad carried on his rule over the prosperous kingdom.